All right. Hello, everybody. I hope that you can hear me. It is Friday, May 23rd, I believe, as I check my phone. Yes, Friday, May 23rd, 2025. I am trying out a new microphone, and I hope you guys can hear me over my TV. Usually I wear my headset, but I wanted to see if my microphone, my Elgato microphone, is doing a better job capturing my voice. If you like what you hear, please like, subscribe, do all the good things on my YouTube channel. I would certainly appreciate it. And you might have noticed that I started us off kind of an odd note. Right now, you should be seeing the Infold Games User Agreement and Private Policy that Infold just made everybody read. But you'll notice that I have focused on... I'm going to turn my TV down a little. I hope there's no sound echo here. You might notice that the private policy has a bolded paragraph. And I want to read it to you because this gets us going on a spicy, controversial note. It says, please pay special attention to any clauses that limit or waive our, as in Infold, the developer of Infinity Nikki, our liability, restrict your rights, or outline dispute resolution and jurisdiction. In other words, Infold is afraid that its fans are going to sue them, and perhaps rightfully so, because they may be doing something very illegal, and other Infinity Nikki YouTube channels have pointed this out, so we're going to talk about it. In fact, if we look at the user agreement privacy policy, I don't know if it's going to... Might be slow, but the idea, preamble, it starts with a preamble. This is fantastic. This Infinity Nikki user agreement contains this agreement between you and Infold in respect of your use of Infold games and Infold game services, defined as below. Please read this agreement carefully before you start to use Infold games and Infold game services, especially disclaimers and limitation of liability, refund policy, and dispute resolution clauses. In other words, Infold is now in on the fact that you and I know that what they're doing may not be legal, or at least not good for the fans. So this is not off to a great start. All right, if you wish to use our games and services, you must read, agree to, and comply with this agreement by clicking Agree, Accept, Next, or similar terms, or by downloading, installing, or using Infold Game Services. I am older than 13. Let's take a look. Game rule. All right, so I'm trying to find out... Okay, please note that if you use an Infold account solely registered or logged for third-party accounts, to log into your Infold account and access Infold Game Services and third-party account is canceled or deleted. Okay, I'm looking specifically for... sorry we screwed you over, there's nothing you can do. If you suspect that your game account and password are being used, that is not it. All right. You may delete your account by deleting your Infold account or delete your game account separately. Software services. Breach any terms of this agreement. Yeah, Infold, you probably should. Yeah. You fully understand and agree that game equipment, game currency, and other in-game items are part of the Infold Game Services. By this agreement, Infold grants you the right to use these items in accordance with the terms outlined herein. Your purchase and use of game equipment, game currency, and other in-game items must comply with this agreement and the specific game rule. Here we go. This is what I was looking for, folks. 6.5 in the clause. You fully understand and agree that in order to enhance the user experience of the Infold Game Services, Infold reserves the right to make adjustments, updates, or optimizations to any content or elements within the game. This includes, but is not limited to, modifications to the design, performance, and relevant settings of game characters, equipment, or other in-game items. You further agree that Infold will not be held legally liable for any such adjustments. Whoa! Hold the hell on. Hold on a second here. Let me take a sip of my wine, because we need to chat. Infold reserves the rights to make adjustments, updates, or optimizations to any content or elements within the game. This includes, but is not limited to, modifications to the design, performance, relevant setting of game characters, equipment, and other in-game items, which probably includes currency. So Infold has been in real trouble for messing with the currency system, and that is entirely their fault. No one is breaking jail, no one is cheating the system. They screwed up and they're trying to take the currency back, and people are unhappy. They've also been putting false discounts on things that were never going to go on sale in the first place, possibly. So, all right. Wait, what is this? 6.6. Hold on a second. All right, I won't bore you too much more with this, but I wanted, I almost said Love Nikki, Infinity Nikki fans, to understand what we are agreeing to, which is dicey. Go back, it was 6.6. And then 6.7, you fully understand and agree that to enhance the gameplay experience for you and other users, Infold reserves the right to transfer or delete certain past game data stored on the server. That seems like a way of saying you can't sue us for changing things, but also, I don't know. It's hard to say if this includes their screw up with currency or not. I'm reading 6.9. Give me a second. I don't know. This is just... I haven't played this game in a week, and we will talk about why I've not played this game in a week. But... Alright. Also, if you can't hear me very well, I've got my Elgato mic with me. So you should hear me clearer than ever. But if you don't hear me, if it's not working for some reason, let me know. Waffle Moose, I'm counting on you showing up soon, because I gotta have a guinea pig for this. Okay, game account data, including information about game characters, items, equipment, or currency, may become abnormal due to software bugs, flaws, and version updates. Until the cause of the data abnormality is identified, Infold reserves the right to temporarily freeze the relative game account. All right, so what this reads like is, on the one hand, they are smartly covering their butt. On the other hand, they're covering their butt, even though fans are like, hey, I want my diamonds that I was owed for the time I couldn't access them. Please pay special attention to any clauses that limit or waive our liability, restrict your rights, or outline dispute resolution jurisdiction. Yeah. So many thoughts. All right, so they're preparing to download resources. But while they're doing that, let's talk about this 1.5 disaster, which is full of unforced errors. Sports fans, I need you to jump in here. If you can think of any kind of game or match that has more unforced errors than 1.5 Infinity Nikki update, I would like to hear it. I will wait. Because I am baffled. And maybe I'm naive. Maybe this is not unprecedented in the world of gacha games or video games in general. But I am baffled. Because literally, since Infinity Nikki's launch, this game has had such goodwill. I was so addicted to Love Nikki, I had to stop it cold turkey after a year because I loved it that much and it was that addictive. I spent hundreds of dollars on the game and I don't want to know how many hours. And I have been much more careful with my wallet in Infinity Nikki. And I'm not kidding when I say that I played 50 to 60 hours of this game, Infinity Nikki, and maybe spent $5 at most. Not because I wanted to. Or, I'm sorry, not because I had to. I wanted to. You know, getting that last miracle outfit, or the first miracle outfit, was hard. The second was even harder. But I never felt in 50 or 60 hours like I absolutely had to spend money. And so Infold had my goodwill for that. And it has a warning, you know, like, be mindful of your wallet. But I gotta tell you, as we confirm this new update, it's just all an unforced error, right? And I don't play a lot of gacha games. So when they do greedy cash grabs, I'm a little naive. I don't immediately realize it until the audience kicks up a storm, right? And I'm glad you guys did. But what confuses me about this, as someone who is naive to the world of gacha games, is why they seem to have a clear roadmap for the story and the gameplay mechanics. And they stopped doing the obvious thing. Right? We felt like we had a rhythm to the updates and to the gameplay mechanics. We thought we knew where this was going because it has to go to one logical place. And here's what I thought was going to happen as we wait for these resources to download. What I thought was going to happen is that we'd have these smaller updates. So I'll use Final Fantasy XIV as an example. You have the main story quest, which is 50 to 60 hours long, in an RPG or a JRPG. This is pretty normal. And then you have these mini monthly updates. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. And they're mini story events and mini event quests and your monthly banner for the gacha game. So in this case, every month you have like 30 days to save up a special currency, in this case diamonds, which gets resorted to resonance crystals. And you spend those crystals for the chance to win a piece of one of these 2 elegant outfits you see right now on the screen. Right? We know the drill. So every month you get a couple of new outfits that you can, quote-unquote, pull for. And they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous outfits. But we got swerved because for the first 3 or 4 updates for Infinity Nikki, you have a little mini story event and these different events that can win you special in-game currency, and you get a couple of free outfits and an outfit you can earn, and then an outfit or 2 that you can gamble for, basically. Man, how big is this update? At any rate, so we know the drill. But then 1.5 comes along and it upends it. Now you can see the bones of the... nothing... Sorry, I'm going to interrupt my own thought process here. Downloading resources is doing nothing. I'm watching the opening with the 2 banner outfits that you see. So the mermaid outfit and then the dark-winged outfit. And I am watching downloading resources, and there's a whole lot of nothing going on here. Which really kind of just is the cap on this week. I mean, there's a whole lot, nothing going on. Or really, I should say that this week has been a bit of a bit of drama. Oh, I see somebody watching. As I'm downloading these resources and I'm explaining the drama that is Infold. And I'm supposed to be downloading the new resources for the new update. I agreed to their shifty user agreement that we talked about. Also, I need to know, is my Elgato microphone working or not? I've got an Elgato microphone hooked right into my PlayStation 5 so you can hear me better. But I don't know if you can. Seems to be working. As we wait for these downloaded resources to do something. because Infinity Nikki, y'all. The game that was my tied with Fields of Mystria. Another game. I feel like we should talk about unforced errors. I feel like that's the theme. That is the theme of this episode tonight, which is games with unforced errors, where you were on top of the world and you peed it all away. Yep, downloading resources, and yet nothing is happening. Infold, I'm going to scream. Alright, I'm trying to figure out what to do here. Because I admit that at my house, for some reason the internet has been slightly buggy. Usually I have flawless internet access, and it's just been weird today. I was watching Kind of Funny Games Daily this morning, and they froze. They've also been having problems. Like all week, the Twitch channel has frozen. But at one point they were back on, and I forgot to F5 it, so I forgot to refresh, and missed like half the show. All right, hold on a second. We're still recording, but I'm grumpy because I've been sitting at 0.00 MB out of 671.04. And there is no reason it should be doing nothing in Fold. And I blame Infold. All right, hold on a second. If I pause it and I get out of this, let's see. Now, here's the thing. If I pause this, then this whole podcast will stop recording. And I'm grumpy about that. But on the other hand, I would like to get this party started. So I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, folks. We're gonna start all the way over. I'm gonna stop this, download the resources, and then I'm gonna come back. And I need you guys to do me a favor. I need you to tell me if my new Elgato microphone, well, it's not new, but it's new for the PlayStation 5, if it's working. I need you guys to tell me if my Elgato 3-wave microphone is working. I'm so excited because it is a USB plug-and-play type microphone, but are you guys able to hear me? I need to know. Are you guys able to hear me on my Elgato fancy schmancy microphone, which I love? I also have an Elgato caption card that I use on my regular gaming PC. Look at this. I've been here for 5 minutes and downloading resources. Oh, hi, Felix. Or you do. Okay, you do. I've got my Elgato microphone in front of me. Do you need me to turn it up or down? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nodes. It's at 4. Do you need me to turn up the microphone or down the microphone?
I think all good.
I think it's all good. Excellent. Okay. I really appreciate that feedback, because as we talk about Infinity, there is so much to talk about. What is Infold doing? We have so much gossip about this, but we've got to also talk about Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. We got to talk about the Eva Switch 2. We have to talk about the Elden Ring movie? Or TV? No, movie? I'm getting confused because I just read that the Wheel of Time season 4, where are we? But there's been 3 seasons, and I guess the show got canceled. We have so much to talk about, you guys. We have so much to talk about, and there are 4 people watching, and I'm just sitting here on this downloading resources page because either my Comcast Infinity sucks, or Infold has yet more to answer for. All right, tell you what, guys, hold on. I hope this doesn't disconnect us. If it does, I will be right back in 30 seconds, 60 seconds, really. But let me see if I can pause this and... Wait, what's happening? Oh my god, I threatened to pause this game and bounce out of the... All I did was say, all right, guys, I'm going to reset this. And usually I have a headset. If I use my headset, it wants to use a headset microphone. if I use my Elgato, I think you guys can hear me better, but it won't let me use a sound through the headset. I don't know what that is. I don't know what's going on. At any rate, tonight we're going to talk all about Infinity Nikki and the quote-unquote apology.
Sometimes you just gotta shout it to the universe for things to work.
Thank you. Thank you. That is exactly it. You gotta shout to the universe. And I'm telling you, oh, update successful now. Update successful now. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. And in case you're wondering, like, why am I not on camera like most streamers? I've told this story ad nauseum, but I found out, and I'm so salty about it, that my PlayStation 4 camera does not work on my PlayStation 5. However, I recently found out that there is possibly a converter for $10 that lets me convert my PlayStation 4 camera and let it work on my PlayStation 5. But I gotta do some more digging. I have I gotta hook up in the IT world. Might possibly be a sibling and his friend. They'll let me know if that's actually a thing. But also, I don't mind just having it be my voice. As long as you guys think that my Elgato microphone sounds good, I don't mind critique. I don't mind feedback. Which reminds me, if you haven't already, on my Meg Sullivan channel, if you haven't checked out my Claire Obscure review, please do. I'm curious about feedback for that. Because as much as I love that game, I give it some tough critiques. And I'm curious to know what you guys think. All right, we're back. Now, as you guys know, I love Infinity Nikki. And literally up until the latest update, everything was going great. Now, I want you in the audience to raise your hand at any time if you're like, look, I'm just chilling on a Friday night or Saturday morning. I just want to hang here. So if you don't know this game and you don't know the drama, feel free to raise your hand and chat and say, Megan, explain to me what the heck is going on in this game. I've seen brief headlines. I don't know what's happening. And if you do know Infinity Nikki and you're in the same boat and you're like, what is going on with Infold? Because I was saying earlier and I meant it, if you're a sports fan and you can think of any game, any match, digitally or physically or otherwise, that has this many unforced errors, I want to hear from you. Because I can't think of any. Maybe because I'm a Bay Area sports fan and I grew up in the 80s and 90s and everything was flawless. And then it wasn't, and then it was terrible. But I gotta poke fun at the Bay Area, right? I mean, I grew up in the 80s and 90s where we had the flawless American football team known as the San Francisco 49ers. Never lost, and no one hated us. Later, different story. Man. I got thoughts. Also, if you're a wrestling fan, talk to me. How do you feel about the latest cancellation of WrestleMania at New Orleans? You gotta let me know. All right, hold on just a second. Let me check my daily wishes. Let's see what's going on. So I was saying earlier, I literally until last week have checked in almost every day in Infinity Nikki. Nonstop. Never missed a day. 1.5 may have broken me, and I don't know what to do about it. So what are my daily wishes today? Warp spires. All right. I always spend my vital energy. This game never has to worry about that. Okay, gotta get some insects, take a picture, clothing, and game. Let's just take a picture real fast. We gotta take a moment to breathe. Now, I don't know if you guys, hold on a second, read the quote-unquote apology from Infold. Oh, no, that's not what I got. What is this? See, this is evidence that I have not checked in. I'm so not okay with the 1.5 update that I missed this. So, dear stylist, the server maintenance update has concluded. Compensation has been sent. Check your inbox to claim it. 100 diamonds, resonant crystal 1. Just 1. Available only to stylists who log in and unlock the inbox feature before May 28th. Okay. I'm good. But really? Really? You're putting limits on that? Compensation for delay. All right. Hold on. Hold on, everyone. Here we go. This is what I wanted you guys to see. Chime in with what you think of this. This has been making the rounds all over. It made it on Kind of Fun Games Daily. It made it on every major news channel. So when we're talking about Infinity Nikki 1.5, the 1.5 update has been a disaster for multiple reasons. We'll talk about that. But finally, after a long silence, the developer sent this quote-unquote apology letter regarding version 1.5, the 1.5 gaming experience. Dear stylus, hope this message finds you well. First and foremost, we would like to extend our sincerest apologies. We are truly sorry that we were unable to provide you with a stable experience upon the release of the new version. Damn right. I'm playing on the PlayStation 5 right now, guys, and I couldn't get in for 2 days, and the only reason I was able to finally get in was because I saw on the internet that what you have to do, save your game progress to the PlayStation Cloud, uninstall the game, and reinstall the game. That's how I got back in. And I'm so glad I did not lose my 230 hours of game time. We understand that every stylist's love and trust in Infinity Nikki is something we must cherish and uphold with the utmost dedication. With a desire to offer Nikki and all of you a more vibrant and colorful journey, we'd planned various new content for this update, designing outfits in diverse styles, creating fun and engaging gameplay, and crafting unique landscapes. We hope Nikki could embark on thrilling adventures across parallel worlds, discovering endless surprises and joy in Mirrorland. However, this time, we fell short of expectations. No kidding! Following the version update, we received a lot of feedback regarding game experience issues, primarily concerning the DIY workshop, which is a disaster, co-op feature, and overall game performance, including issues such as login failures, crashes, and resolution problems. We've been carefully collecting each report and immediately working with our team to address these issues. We sincerely apologize for the issues that disrupted Nikki's dazzling and dreamlike journey. Sorry, I'm a little salty. This week has been a week. Right. So, they talk about the fixes. Additional clarification on feedback. Basically, it's a mea culpa that's kind of not a mea culpa. They don't really address the fact that some people spent currency that they earned in game because they thought it was fine. And then, you know what, guys? Instead of Infold being like, you guys, we are so sorry. You weren't supposed to get all that currency in a day. It was supposed to be half that. So totally keep what you have. But from now on, it will be half that. And we apologize for the confusion. Here's a few diamonds. That is our fault. They did one step worse. You know what they did? They took back the currency so that people were in the negative. And that is not okay. I love this game, but I am baffled. I don't know where to start with all these unforced errors, you guys. I don't know what to do. Because I am very naive. I don't play gacha games on a regular basis. The last gacha game I played was literally Love Nikki. And I had to quit because it was expensive and addicting. This game, I have been so much better and so much more responsible at spending money. But now I am learning that it has just been one big greedy cash grab, apparently. Like, what is happening? What Why is this not doing the thing? Hold on. There we go. Oh my god. All right. I don't know. I just don't know where to start, you guys. Like, the list of unforced errors in the past month makes no sense to me. And I really love this game. And I want to make that clear, or we wouldn't be calling this Infinity Friday. But I don't know what to do. I don't know what to start with the errors. I don't know what you guys want to hear or don't want to hear about. And we don't have to talk about this game. But I'll say this. Up until 1.5, I was so happy with this game. All I wanted was... So what I thought was going to happen, I think I told you about this last week, is I thought it would follow a... Whoops. Hit the wrong button there. That was my bad. But I thought I knew where this game was going. I think a lot of us did. I thought we all knew where this game was going, right? Like, we would have these little mini events. They're cute events. Right, so for the current event, we all thought that, and I'll show you, hold on. It's bubble season. So this was clearly supposed to be the roadmap, at least to me. Totally correct me if I'm wrong, but this to me was the roadmap for Infinity Nikki. See this cute little thing where you go and you help the PCs get all clean and pretty and you help them with their little bubble celebration? This was the monthly update. This is all it was. And you get 2 new cool banner outfits. And that is not it. That is Allison's workshop thing. But you get 2 cool new outfits you can try to pull for, and a free outfit, another couple outfits that you can try to earn. And that's all this was supposed to be. Right? But then, for some reason, the powers that be tried to force in 2 mechanics that nobody wanted during this update and don't make sense. The first is the do-it-yourself workshop. This lets me recolor Nikki's clothes. I can redo the color and pattern of this outfit, right? Or in theory. But the thing is, for every tiny piece of outfit, I have to earn a special currency. And I have to unlock that same color and pattern for every piece of outfit over and over and over again. So for example, see all these different hairstyles and all these different dresses and outfits. Fun fact, for every single piece of every single outfit, I must unlock the same colors over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. And that requires special currency that I can only get in one part of Infinity Nikki. Now, when we did a 1.4 update, we were told you have to collect, different materials around Mirrorland. So go collect some flowers, go collect some shells, get some bling, get some thread. And that's how you update Nikki's outfits. And we were like, cool, that makes sense. And then we thought, and I'll show you, that we would probably unlock the ability to dye things and do patterns here at the dye workshop. Huge part of the storyline, right? That's what we thought. We thought we would probably get a dye workshop story quest in Stoneville, and we'd learn how to dye our colors, dye different outfits, different colors and patterns, and we would collect flowers and clamshells and rare things like Dawn Fox fluffy stuff. We expected that. That makes sense. We were kind of conditioned to believe that. But then it was tied to a multiplayer part of the game that nobody asked for. And that is why we are all so bitter. And that is just one example of an unforced error. Now, I have all my diamonds, but apparently some people have had their diamonds disappear. That's another bloop flaw that apparently has been happening with Infold. There's so much going on, guys. I just don't, I'm sorry. I'm talking in circles, but I'm still trying to process it because it's kind of beyond me. I don't play enough gacha games to know quite how bad this whole thing is. All I know is that ever since the 1.5 update, I've not been playing as much. And that's all you need to know. But I'm playing now because I love you guys. You guys are awesome, and I want to believe in this game. This game is happiness and joy in a world that is devoid of that. However, the good news is there's still a chance to fix this game. There really is. We can fix it. We can fix this. But how can Infold do it? Well, hold on just a second, and I will tell you. Okay, so how do we fix this game? It's tricky. The whole reason it's tricky is because they introduced a story element that retcons the original origin story of Nikki in this game. In this game, Nikki actually got to this world in particular. Hold on. Sorry, I have to actually hold my microphone in my hand because I don't have a table right here, right now. But Nikki got into this world, if you're not familiar with this game, because she was in her parents' attic and she came across a beautiful outfit locked away in a cupboard. And the outfit is magical. And it actually came alive and put itself on Nikki and then dragged her into a wardrobe, sort of like The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe book, in which kids go through a wardrobe in an attic and they get sucked into a magical world. So it's a very cute reference. And it turns out that Nikki must collect miracle outfits, beautiful outfits with special magical skills, in order to combat the darkness that is taking over Mirrorland. It's a very simple, easy to understand story. It's very cute. And if you look at the world map, this is all just one world. One part of the world. This is all Wishfield, or the Heart something kingdom, Heartfelt Kingdom. But here, if we see this warp point, okay, Heartcraft Kingdom. This is the edge of the Heartcraft Kingdom. Over here is an empire of light that is trying to take over the world. So I thought the next part of the story was going to be Nikki must go to the empire and stop them from taking over, right? That's exactly where the story should go. And that we'd get our next miracle outfit when we came here. And that the dying color thing would happen over here. And then the multiplayer would just be something that you go to when you go to your Pair Pal app, right? Like it would have nothing to do with anything else. And unfortunately, the game tied itself, or the story tied itself to gameplay mechanics. So how do you untangle that? How do you untangle that? Let's think about that.
Infinity
So-
time.
It is Infinity Nikki time, Waffle Moose. And I have been ranting for 20 minutes about, like, how do we fix this mess? How do we fix this mess? Because Infold topology isn't it. I think it can be fixed, but Infold has to be smart, and it has to swallow its pride. Now, I actually like this event. So this event is all about panda conservation. Infinity Nikki has donated funds to the Sichuan Green Foundation, supporting public welfare efforts such as giant panda conservation and ranger assistance. I'm a big environmentalist, and I love animals, and I love that. This is a nice thing. This is a nice separate thing. This also feels like it was part of the Infinity Nikki roadmap. There's some... I can't speak for every Infinity Nikki fan, but there seems to be some debate as to whether, like, the newest updates that broke 1.5, were they originally part of the story, narrative, and gameplay roadmap or not? It doesn't feel like they were. Pandas appeared 8 million years ago. No wonder they're called living fossils. That's a cool... I like that. I didn't know that. 8 million years ago. Oh boy. All right, hold on. Oh, a panda visiting Flora-Wish. Now see, this is what I wanted in a regular update. Don't give me forced errors. Give me more of this. Let's go talk to the panda. All right. So the 1.5 update, I think, was just the bubble season thing, where you go and you help the little snot rags get all nice and clean. They're called PCs. I don't know why I call them snot rags. I just, in my mind, it's cute. Because they are. Okay. All right. Here we go. Where's our panda? Where is it? Okay. I see a rock. Wait, hold on. He's so cute. Oh my goodness. He's so cute. Although, question, are pandas like koalas? They look really cute, but they're aggressive. My understanding is that pandas are pretty chill and they're kind of dumb. But I don't know. Does anybody know? I don't know much about pandas. Ah, yeah. What a beautiful girl. And a handsome white kitty. Hello there. Wow.
Pandas.
Bao Bao is certainly charming.
Are very chill.
Very chill. Okay. So cute. I'm so good at giving okay, I'm so glad that Nikki is like so good at giving compliments. A bear with a keen eye. I like you. Oh my god. And Bao Bao continues with the compliments. You're not only beautiful, you're also sweet talking. But I'm afraid bear isn't quite accurate. Okay, that was going to be a question, because I was like, are they technically bears? Allow me to introduce myself. I am the one and only, cherished by all. Wherever I go, flowers burst into bloom, the clouds retreat in admiration, and the sunbeams even brighter in my presence. I'm Bao Bao, the giant panda. You must be a baby, because you're too small to be a cute giant. What an impressive introduction. Now it's my turn. I'm, the flower picking, fruit gathering, bug catching, fishing expert stylist, beloved by all creatures, Nikki. And this here is my loyal travel companion, a barbecue-loving photographer extraordinaire, Momo. We haven't been in Flourish for long, but it's great to meet you, Bao Bao. What a coincidence! I only arrived a couple of days ago, too. Meeting fellow newcomers. Okay, hold on. We gotta pause for a second. Alright, this goes back to that retcon. So, we were talking about it earlier. So, one of the most controversial updates in 1.5 is a retconning of Nikki's existence in Mirrorland. Now, if you followed my adventures since the beginning of the stream, and I didn't stream the beginning of Infinity Nikki, but I was explaining that Infinity Nikki starts with Nikki getting sucked through a wardrobe and coming to Mirrorland. And she saves the people of this local town called Flourish from a weird disease or a miasma that was putting people in comas. So Nikki tracked down the evil causing these comas, and she saved Mirrorland. That's the story. Now, along the way, she learns about some pretty dark, nefarious stuff about how people are falling into comas. And she meets some significant characters along the way. Not just enemies, but friends. And now this update is saying, because look at what Bao Bao is saying. I only arrived a couple of days ago, too. Nikki hasn't been here for a couple of days. She saved the town of Flourish from a coma. And I'm trying not to spoil it for people who haven't played the game, but spoiler alert, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There were some good little wish sprites and some bad ones, and the bad ones were doing bad things, and they were actually enslaving humans to do their bad things, and Nikki saved everyone from that. Now the game is telling me in 1.5, hey, none of that happened anymore, we kind of retconned it. It's very confusing, and Infold's apology is like, well, we didn't mean to be confusing, we didn't mean for that to be confusing, we apologize, but they didn't really clarify what is happening. Did you retcon Nikki's origin story or no? Right? Like, it's very confusing. So Bao Bao is saying he also only, Nikki's like, I haven't been here for very long. And Bao Bao's like, well, me neither. And I'm not sure if Nikki's saying, like, I literally have to pretend like I wasn't here for 50, 60 hours in game or not. All right. I'm happy to take a picture with you, Bao Bao, but I'm very confused about when I am. Here we go. And you can see I've been in this game for a really long time. Level 73? Come on, y'all. Wait, hold on. It didn't do the little golden outline. Let me make sure I took the right picture. I'm trying to take a photo. See, that's a terrible picture. I knew that was going to happen. Every time I take a really good picture I'm proud of, it's like, nah, that didn't count. That didn't count. And I take a terrible picture where they're both their eyes are closed. It's like, that's a great picture. It's really not. Come on, game. All right, one more time. Let's see if I can actually get a pose going. That's kind of cute. We'll let that go. Great! Wonderful! This photo, I'll make sure to treasure it. I'm happy to take a photo with you too, Bao Bao. By the way, I haven't seen a giant panda in Flourish before. Where did you come from, Bao Bao? That's a long story, but I'll try to keep it short. I was living peacefully in a forest when I ate a glowing multicolored bamboo shoot. And then after a short nap, I somehow ended up here. To be honest, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared when I first arrived in town. Oh, honey, believe you me, I know. Sounds like you also got transported to Mirrorland. Suddenly arriving in a completely unfamiliar place must have been pretty scary. But don't worry. Everyone in Flourish is really nice. If you ever run into any trouble, you can ask them for help. Heh, I've already experienced their kindness. The townsfolk are so friendly. They love chatting with me and taking photos together. Nikki is kind and Momo is a nice cat. There really are a lot of good people in this world. So in the end, I only panted a little bit. After all, I have bamboo when I'm hungry, a lake when I'm thirsty, and fun stuff to do every day. Instead of worrying all the time, why not just enjoy life? I agree. No matter how we got here, this is still a special and exciting journey. Besides, I have Momo with me. Also, I can't help but feel a little bit like the fourth wall is being broken here. And I say that because these two are talking about no matter how we got here. Well, how you got here, Nikki, is important because the fans are asking for consistency and continuity. This really feels like meeting a kindred spirit in a foreign land. Yeah. I totally forgot. I haven't organized today's photos yet. Nikki, Momo, let's check next time.
More multiplayer focused and need the lore to fit the change.
Oh, yeah. You're right, Waffle Moose. Like, they're trying to fit the lore into the multiplayer, but they didn't need to. Someone on my stream suggested a month ago that all they had to do was the Animal Crossing thing. Just let people visit your island when you're building your home or whatever is coming. They're supposed to have a thing where you could actually have housing in this game, then you design your own home. And all you have to do is invite people over to your island, look at your home, take some pictures, give them a gift, and voila. Voila, it's fine. It's all okay, but they decided to do a convoluted story that doesn't make any sense. Like, and why did you have to retcon things? Good writers don't have to do that. I could have written a better story, damn it. My Pekingese puppy could have. Yes, I totally agree. The Animal Crossing idea was so brilliant. It was so good. I didn't think of it, and I wish I had, because like that was so smart. This is a daisy. No, that's not right. This one's a lamp bloom. That's not right either. It's so hard to make sunproof clothes. Babo, you look really troubled. Has something happened? Nikki, it's you. Oh, you came at the perfect time. Are you familiar with the flowers and plants in Flourish? Yes, I was going to dye a bunch of stuff with it, but then it turns out that we need a separate, whole, stupid thing for it. Oh my god, don't get me started. At any rate, what do you need? Well, I can't say I'm an expert, but I know a fair bit. When making clothes, Momo and I have gathered plenty of materials around Florawish. I see. As they say, knowledge comes from experience. Perfect. I've been looking for a certain flower these past few days, but just can't seem to find it. Please help me. No problem. Do you know anything about the flower, Bao Bao? Let me think. Oh yeah! It was a rainy day, and I was taking a stroll by the lake when I saw a transparent flower. It was so magical. There was an old man there, and he told me that the flower could be used to make sun-proof clothes. But you have to wait until the rain stops before picking it. So, as soon as the rain stopped, I rushed back to the lakeside, but no matter how hard I had looked, I couldn't find it. Isn't that strange, Nikki? Nikki, what Bao Bao is describing sounds a bit familiar. Could it be a sunny orchid? That's right. Only the sunny orchid turns transparent when it rains. When it's like that, it should actually be called a rainy orchid. You're amazing, Nikki. Yeah, I don't have to worry about that anymore. But I still have a favor to ask. Could you pick some sunny orchids for me? That way I'll be able to recognize them and I won't have any trouble finding them again. Sure, I've got like 1,000. Because I thought I was going to be dyeing clothes with them. But as it turns out, I need a currency tied to the multiplayer in a very empty island that nobody likes or asked for. I am so salty, ladies and gentlemen, about this update. I'm going to be humble because this update humbled me. Either way, you deserve my applause. Thank you so much, Nikki. No need to thank me. By the way, Bao Bao, are you using the sunny orchids to make clothes for yourself? Huh? Oh, not at all. I want them to make some outerwear for the patrollers. That way, they won't have to worry about sun exposure. The patrollers, are they your friends? Yep. Actually, to be honest, they take care of us pandas more than we take care of them. A long time ago, a lot of the forests we lived in were cut down, and bad people tried to capture us. So there were fewer and fewer pandas in the mountains. But thankfully, people took notice and quickly protected the forest. Well, quickly is subjective. They stopped cutting down trees and even caught those bad guys and locked them up. That's great! Those who do bad things deserve to be punished. Good Lord, Momo. And, one year, all the bamboo in the mountains suddenly bloomed at the same time, and we couldn't find anything to eat. But just when we thought we wouldn't make it, kind people came and rescued us. Later, they even assigned patrollers to walk through the forest every day to protect us and our home. Thanks to them, we don't have to be afraid anymore. And there are more and more pandas all the time. Well, So, someone will have to correct me, but I heard that actually getting pandas to breed is really hard. Like, really hard. So, more and more and more pandas? Well, we're trying. Although I don't see the patrollers very often, I'm still really grateful to them. So, you want to make sunproof clothing for the patrollers? You're such a good panda. If I ever get the chance, I'd love to personally thank them for their hard work. They must really work hard to protect the pandas. When I return home, I'll pass along your gratitude to them, Nikki. Anyway, thanks so much, Nikki. When I have time, I'll gather more sunny orchids so every patroller can have a sun-proof outfit. That's such a wonderful goal. You've got my support. Baba, are you trying to chew your toes? It's very cute. Alright, so we've got to go do some more dailies. panda thing was kind of cute. And I'm for anything that raises awareness for, like, animals and the environment. Because I remind people that, we ain't getting to Mars, folks. If you will die of nothing else, you will die of radiation poisoning. Don't worry about the food or the water or oxygen. Yeah. Same with any other planet or even the moon. Folks, we're stuck on Spaceship Earth and it's pretty gorgeous. So I believe in taking care of it because this is it, folks. This is all we've got.
Microplastics too.
Exactly right. I mean, think about, not to get preachy, but when you really think about like how lucky we are to live on a planet that's in the perfect zone, the perfect habitat zone for life, it kind of shakes you up how lucky we are. I always thought that, you know, colonies on the moon and, like, we're going to go to Mars and we're going to go to Venus and we're going to, you know, warp drive in the, you know, Mass Effect, mass relays. And when people started going to space more and more, they keep coming back and saying the same thing. So William Shatner went up to space at like 80, 90, some ridiculous number, and it was awesome. But he came back and he's like, he was shook. He's like, we have got to be better at the environment. Because when I went to space, it was dark. And it was quiet, too quiet. It was dark and quiet. Because Captain Kirk should have been like, yeah, let's go space travel. Let's go to different planets. Like, you knew, or at least you thought you knew where the conversation was going, right? Like, you know, Captain Kirk's going to tell us we got to do more space travel so we can go where no man has gone before, blah, blah, blah. He came back so shook, and he was like, no, we got to take care of the planet. There's nothing there. It is just dark and cold and quiet. He was shook. And that's when if you follow cool spacey nerds on Instagram and other social media, they will talk about like how ridiculously lucky we are. So there is I wish I had in front of me, my phone's over there, a spacey nerd who was explaining, like, we're all excited to go to Mars, but let me tell you about the radiation on Mars. Never mind the food. Never mind the water. Never mind the oxygen. Mars has no ozone, and there's nothing between you and the sun's powerful radiation. So, you can sit there and be like, oh, I'm gonna be like Matt Damon in the, you know, Martian, which is apparently just saving Private Ryan on Mars. But the biggest thing is radiation. There's no ozone layer. So you're not going anywhere, folks, because our ozone layer is all that is standing between us and horrible radiation poisoning. And apparently, if I understood this correctly, like, don't even bother with Venus. It's over before you land. But, you know, if there are certain people who want to go to Mars, I'm not naming names. They want to prove us all wrong and launch themselves into space and F off forever. That's great. Go for it. Not naming names. I'm just saying, if you believe in Mars that badly, just go. Don't worry about oxygen, water, food, radiation. Just go. Prove us all wrong.
Trying to murder us for eons.
That sign's been trying to murder us for eons. Sorry, that totally caught me off guard. You can tell it broke my brain. Give me a second here. Helios, what are you doing? It's ironic. I am a sun worshiper in the sense that I love the sun. I'm a California girl. I love bright, sunshiny weather and warm weather. But I have very pale Irish skin. So I cannot be in the sun for more than like 2 seconds. Right? I have to go out with sunscreen. So, and we should all do this, by the way. It doesn't even matter if you have dark skin. They proved that even if you have dark skin, you can get certain types of skin cancer if you're not careful, right? So you gotta put on that sunscreen, put on that hat and sunglasses, right? But I get it, man. I love me some sunshiny, warm weather. It's funny that like everything in nature, when you think about it, everything in nature. And I'm actually doing sorry for the advertisement, but as I make my way, I'm not going to warp, I'm going to walk, I'm going to be good. But as I make my way over here, I wanted to say that everything in nature has duality. And the ancient Romans and Greeks and ancient everyone all over the world understood that nature has duality. So the Greek word for medicine, hold on, and I'm going to pronounce it wrong, and I apologize if you're Greek. I'm so sorry, I'm butchering your pretty language, but it's like pharmakos or pharmako. And that's where we get our Greek word for pharmacy in English. And it means both medicine and poison in the ancient language. It was known that, for example, make sure I'm going the right way, snake venom could both kill you, obviously, but in tiny amounts, it could be used to cure. And thus, the double snakes that represent the duality of like things like medicine, right? One can kill and one can cure. You get too much of something, it kills you. You get the vaccine for it, it saves your life. And when you think about the origins of vaccines, not to get on my soapbox here, I totally went the wrong way, my apologies.
And messed up.
Yeah, it's so cool and messed up. That is perfect. Alpha Moose, it is so messed up. When we think about the origins of vaccines, so think about in America, we seem to have an idiot who thinks that vaccines are a conspiracy theory and don't work. But let me tell you a sobering story about vaccines. It goes back to Abigail Adams, the wife of one of the presidents of the United States. And I believe it's her cousin, and someone can correct me on this. A doctor who recommended vaccines at a time where children were dying in droves. And I cannot remember, it might have been measles. It was something that was just killing children and people. And in a time where vaccines were very, very new and very scary and risky to people, Abigail Adams' cousin, who was a doctor, was like, get your children vaccinated. Get them vaccinated or they're going to die. And she did it. And they lived. So if anyone in America tells you that vaccinations are un-American or not proven, don't ever do the founding fathers and their families dirty, because they were getting vaccinated all the way back when. True story. Look it up. Not to overly, get preachy, but this is important. This is important. And I think I'm preaching mostly to the choir, right? Like, we know this. We know this. Anyway. I'm sorry I'm being very preachy right now. It's been a week, y'all. It's been a week. Politically, the news is weird. Personally, it's been rough. And professionally, it's been good, just busy. On that, like the one thing that is going right is professionally. I've got some cool, exciting stuff going on. If, by the way, you have not already done so, and you're watching this right now, as I keep getting lost in my own museum here in Flourish. Sorry, that is a quote from a movie. As I'm running around, because I love this pretty outfit, I do want to advertise that I have another YouTube channel called History and Games. And it's all about playing games and then talking about the real life history hidden inside the games. If you know games like Oregon Trail, or even games you don't think have history, like The Legend of Zelda or Fire Emblem. I talk about the real history in these games. And It's a fun way to learn history. But you can actually go to my website at historyngames.com. So history, N, like the letter N, games.com, and sign up for my free newsletter. And every month in my newsletter, I talk about cool gaming news, cool history news, and what I've been up to. It's free, it's fun, and yes, the Infinity Nikki update made it into that newsletter. And I gotta get better about advertising my own work because I'm the only one who can advocate for myself. But I grew up in a family that's like, no, you can't talk about yourself. It's tacky. But I don't have a PR person. I really don't. So thank you for your patience. Also, sign up for my newsletter. I used to have a Patreon, but I'm actually shutting it down at the end of this month. I can't tell if it's doing good or bad. So my Patreon was bleeding people, but then they kept coming back as free members. And I don't remember giving that option of free Patreon members. That defeats the purpose. So I was like, if you guys want something for free, I have a website, historyandgames.com, and a free monthly newsletter. And I do actually work with a professional to make that newsletter look very spiffy and cool. I hope you guys like it. See how gorgeous this game is? I love this game. It is so gorgeous. I want it to be the best it can be. And I started talking about, like, what is it this game has to do to get better? Well, I think what they have to do, for continuity's sake, is I think they have to... I haven't even been to the multiplayer island yet. Hold on just a second. I haven't been to the Sea of Stars yet for today. Let me look at something first, though. All right, I got one more daily wish to do. Sorry, I had to think there for a second. I'm really tired. Did I mention it's been a week? It's been a week. How's your guys' week, though? What are you guys excited for? Have you guys been playing anything exciting? Have you been playing Infinity Nikki? Have you been playing Expedition 33? Have you been playing Oblivion? How are you looking forward to the Switch 2? I cannot wrap my head around the fact that, guys, that we are already closing in on June. And that starting June 5th, the world's going to get super crazy in the video game world. We got the Switch 2 dropping on, I think is it a Wednesday? It's June 5th. And then June 6th, we have Summer Game Fest. So there will be a lot of trailers and announcements. A shaky rumor has it we'll get a state of play or some sort of PlayStation event. I would be shocked if Nintendo does not have an event because they always have a June Nintendo Direct. And with the Nintendo Switch dropping, it's not only a good idea to reiterate the games that are coming out for Switch 2 in June, but also to give us the holiday slate. What can we look forward to in October, November, December? What do you think is coming out this fall for Nintendo Switch 2? Ah, darn it. I go to the right place. Sorry. I'm going to go to the easiest game where I can get the easiest stuff. Hold on just a second. But there's so much going on in the games world. I can't even keep up right now. Like, it's crazy. I guess the real question is, does it matter? Can we afford it? All right, so Waffle Moose, you're excited for Donkey Kong. That is coming out in June. All right, this is going to be interesting because I got to hold my microphone and do this at the same time. Oh, I got so lucky. That one laser should have hit me, but that's okay. I was playing this one-handed as I hold my microphone. So I am proud of myself. All right, I think we got our daily wishes in. But who was I talking to about this? I feel like there's so many games that are coming out. I was talking to my parents earlier about the games industry and how it's not that people won't want to pay $100 for GTA 6 or $80 for Mario Kart or Donkey Kong. It's not a matter of want. People are totally, like, this kind of brings me to, sorry if I'm pausing the game here for a second, but I want to talk about this. The idea of, hey, we all wouldn't mind if we could paying $100 for GTA 6 or Donkey Kong or Infinity Nikki or, whatever game, right? And two executives in like a week have made the same foot in mouth comment where they're like, well, if you're a true gamer, if you're a true fan, you'll pay for the game, or you'll be discriminatory about which games you decide to play. And it's so tone deaf, right? I get what they're saying, right? Like, games have a lot of value, right? We now pay like, what, $20, $30 to go to the movie theater now, just for the ticket, not even for all the other stuff. So when you get dozens of hours of gameplay fun, is it not worth twice as much? But the problem isn't so much what you value. You'll play hundreds of hours of Grand Theft Auto 6. I have put 250 hours into Infinity Nikki, and I only paid $30 technically, because I've been really disciplined with this game. But the point is, people don't have $80 a pop to play games, right? And you're tone deaf. Well, work two jobs, poor people, or be better at judging which games you play. That ain't it, Chief. Like, that's not what people want to hear right now. Because you're assuming that your game, Randy Pitchford, will be the game that they choose. But if there's a better game that's either cheaper and or better quality, they're not going to play Borderlands 4. They're going to play the next Zelda game or the next Mario game. Right now, Clair Obscure Expedition 33 is below average, and people are flocking to it, and they love it, and it's got just so many kudos, and it deserves kudos, although I pretty harshly critique it in places in my review, which you can see on Mike Sullivan. Not to be different, and not to be like, oh, look how edgy I am, but because I honestly think that Sandfall Interactive is very much like a brilliant artist. They have so much potential, and you can already see how brilliant they are, but they need some technical refinements for their game. And it is a smaller studio and a smaller game. So considering all that, they did excellent. But it's okay to give them honest feedback, whether it's about their dungeon design or some things in their story, although I've been told that I don't understand French art and cinema. But I got thoughts. Anyway. Nope, there's nobody here. All right, never mind. I had a thought, but that's okay. Hold on just a second.
I will absolutely be judicious with what I buy, Randy, and it won't be your game.
Adam, I love it. I will absolutely be judicious, Randy Pitchford. It's not going to be your game. Exactly. I understand what these I'm trying to be a diplomat here. I know what our friend Yoshida-san is saying. I know, Shuhei. I know what you're saying. Even Randy Pitchford. I know that games are more expensive to make, and I know with stupid, crazy tariffs and inflation, these things are going to go up, right? But it doesn't change the fact that real wages really aren't keeping up with all of this, and that people are struggling to buy groceries. I went to the grocery store the other day, and the cheapest, I'm not kidding, I'm not exaggerating, you guys, the cheapest eggs I could find in the US at my grocery store were like $8.99.
Claire Obscure is what Sandfall would do next. I love the game deeply, but there are a lot of flaws. But DH.
I totally agree. I am so excited. I mean, Sandfall is off to an excellent start. They are really off to an excellent start. I know that I had to be honest about the things that I wasn't happy with the game, but not because I wanted to be edgy. Because Sandfall needs the feedback. They didn't do anything wrong on purpose. I know they were going for something. They just need to tweak some things, right? So for like, and this is just my opinion, but like the level design in Clair Obscur is pretty linear for a game about exploring and expeditions, right? And I don't quite understand why there's a mini map and compass in the overworld, but not the dungeons. And it almost breaks immersion. Like, why one but not the other? And why can't you make a map the way you can in Etrian Odyssey? You know, in like old school RPGs, they let you do a map along the way. Or in Zelda, and correct me if I'm remembering this wrong, but in early Zeldas, I think you could find the compass and map in a dungeon, right? Like that was part of the goal, is to stumble in on that. And like previous expeditions, like what is it, like 67 expeditions beforehand couldn't do a map and leave it, like with their journals. You get all these journals, you get all this feedback from these other expeditions, you learn a little bit more about the lore and story. They didn't leave a damn map for people, those who come after. Tomorrow will come. Hello.
Apparently, the main paths in dungeons are outlined by the gas lamps in the area. Which is cute, but they don't actually tell you that, so WH.
What? So I noticed the gas lights because I love French architecture and art. Like I have to be very careful when I say French art because art historians will kick my butt, right? Like sometimes I cannot tell the difference between Monet and Monet. I'm one of those people, right? And I will say this, I am excited about Expedition 33 because it makes me want to learn more about art history, particularly in France. Now, I do know something about Art Deco and Art Nouveau, which I'm pronouncing wrong. That is not French sounding at all. But I was excited to see both of it in the game because my mom loves Art Deco and it's just so stylish. And then I love Art Nouveau. It's gorgeous, right? And then it's just, man, French just does everything right. Like in terms of like beauty and language and culture. And I love how unapologetically French Expedition 33 is. Like I feel so bad because I really worry that people are going to think that I didn't like the game because I talk about what I like about the game, but I also talk about like, you know what? There are some things that we kind of need to go back and next time do a little bit better. Right? It's trying to be helpful feedback for Sandfall because, again, the dungeons are very linear and their user experience wasn't quite as obvious as they think. Like, if I have to go read about it or learn about it from an outside source and it's not obvious in game, that's not a good thing. Like, their user interface is a mess. Like, I did not totally understand how Lumina and Lumina points worked until way too late, like embarrassingly so. And although they technically tell you during the tutorial, it just didn't click with me because of the UI. Oh no. Hold on. I actually have to fight this? Hold on. The cat's not changing back! The cat's not changing back.
Lights are coming out from underground. Watch out, Nikki.
That was wild. I'm sorry, I totally went quiet there for a second, but I was like, I've got to think. I got to think. I'm panicking. All right. What are our rewards? Meh. All right. What was I saying? Oh, I was ranting about Claire Obscure. At any rate, it's an excellent game. It doesn't even need any defenders. It's just really good, and Sandfall Interactive, I think we all agree, is pretty darn amazing. So, good for them. Also, this is my favorite song in the game. I just want you all to know that. It's so pretty. All right, finally we're going to go to the Sea of Stars, the multiplayer no one asked for and no one likes. Now, last time I streamed, you'll notice that this Sea of Stars was very empty. All right, well, right off the bat, we've got a Nikki. Now, I'm not going to bother her because she doesn't know that I am live streaming, and I want to be very careful not to put anyone on camera that doesn't want to be there. Gotta hold this down for a second. This is special currency we need to get a special outfit and other special stuff.
The bugs or multiplayer issues.
They're working on it, as last I heard, Adam Green. So I was talking at the very beginning of the stream. If you take a look at this, hold on. So this week, Infold, the developers, sent out a quote-unquote apology. Which is an apology, but kind of not an apology. And it says, first and foremost, we'd like to extend our sincerest apologies. We're truly sorry we were unable to provide you with a stable experience upon release of the new version. We understand that every stylist's love and trust in Infinity Nikki is something we cherish and must uphold, blah, blah, blah. And they admit that they screwed up. And that they have had, get this, following the version update, we received a lot of feedback regarding game experience issues, primarily concerning the do-it-yourself workshop, co-op feature, and overall game experience, including issues such as login failures, crashes, and resolution problems. We've been carefully collecting each report and immediately working with our team to assess the issue. But have they really done anything? They're working on it. So, for example, apparently one of their mea culpas is you can get so many diamonds, but you have to log in for like 8 days straight. And people are like, no, give me my diamonds. Do not make me work for it so that you can, play with your numbers. I don't know. It's really hard for me to understand because this update has been so disappointing that I didn't log in for a week. So basically, I have not logged in since my last stream. And although I can see, so right now, I will say this, right now I'm seeing more stability. I'm not seeing a huge crash in terms of frame rate drop. I've seen a couple of other,
know what's apocryphal and what isn't.
Yeah, no, I understand, Adam, and I wish I could give you a better answer. I haven't really checked in. I don't want multiplayer in this game. I'll be honest, this game is not designed around multiplayer. It is not like an MMO. So I feel like, I thought, we talked about this, that this is going to be like Animal Crossing. Like, hey, it's going to be a very unobtrusive multiplayer where, you know what? You can invite people into your game, take some pictures, exchange some gifts, and that's it. Instead, they have this weird island thing that they tied a convoluted retcon story to that nobody asked for, and I don't understand the logic. You don't need a story or a reason for multiplayer. Just add it to Nikki's pair pal and let that be the end of it. Or even better, have it be a separate mini story where Momo finds a shining rock, it transports Nikki to the Sea of Stars, and the seer oversees all worlds. She's like a liminal goddess, right? Like, she does the boundaries between worlds, and she noticed that Nikki was struggling a little bit. It's hard collecting these miracle outfits. It's hard, controlling the Heart of Infinity. So she thought that it would be great to have a little playground for Nikki's to get together and encourage each other and cheer each other on as they get these outfits. There, I literally just wrote you a great little side story about why this little island exists. That's all you need. You do not need to retcon the story, ever. And you do not need to tie the workshop that lets you dye colors and patterns onto Nikki's outfits. You don't need a story for that. Just have her go to Stoneville, and the dye workshop is now letting anyone who wants to learn about how to make new patterns for the clothes, make them. You don't need a convoluted story. It's right there. It is built into the world. I do not understand Infold.
It's so disappointing that people that would love this game are just hearing about it now with all the issues.
I'm so sad, Adam. I really love this game. And I don't want to poo-poo it too much. I'm moaning and groaning now, but I really want this game to succeed. I really do. I think the way, and at the very beginning of the stream, I started this thought and then I kind of lost track of it, is there is a way to save it, but we have to be smart about it, right? So let's wrap up the story here. So let's say everyone gets a miracle outfit, right? Or you don't trigger this until you get the full miracle outfit you're supposed to get. Because they tied this into the currency that I'm collecting right now. Once you get the third miracle outfit, then it triggers the main story, where it turns out that quote-unquote seer isn't the real seer. She's just some dark entity that you have to fight. And then the real seer is like, oh my gosh, Nikki, ignore all that retconning. I created the Sea of Stars just as a nice place for Nikki's to hang out. There's no bigger logic to it. Of course you saved Mirrorland from a coma epidemic. Of course you met the super smoking hot Giovanni. Of course you fought and worked with the Feywish sprites. Don't let this fake seer fake you out. Everything you've done up to this point, including coming through a wardrobe in the real world, it's all real. And now you must continue your journey to collect miracle outfits and save Anna, or whatever the heck her name is. You can do it. Love you, minute. Okay, thanks, bye. There, I literally fixed the story. It does not have to be anything convoluted. Just keep going. We're going to go 2.0. We're going to go to the Empire of Light or whatever it's called, and we're going to continue the story. Infold did not need to retcon anything, and they can fix it with common sense things. And all this special currency can just gently fade away. And the do-it-yourself workshop can be transferred over to Stoneville. And you can write that in as a little side story too, like, we had a dream about new dyes and colors and patterns on a pretty tropical island. And we were inspired. And now you can do that here in Stoneville instead of this weird multiplayer thing that nobody asked for. Hire me, Infold. I will fix this for you. Hell, I'll fix it for you for free. We can do this. Look at this. There's nobody here, by the way. I think we saw 3 Nickies so far. No, it's not fair to assume that this place will be as crowded as Final Fantasy XIV, where you go into your hub town and there's like 2,000 people just crammed into a small space. But this is deserted island. Yikes. Alright, I gotta get these special currencies because otherwise I can't get the new miracle outfit. Which, you guys, can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? Can you keep a secret? Can you keep a secret about what I think about the new miracle outfit? Can you keep a secret?
Now I gotta know.
I think the new miracle outfit is ugly as sin.
That's a hot ache, lol.
Right? I'm just letting that sink in for a second. Here, let me see if I can pull it up for you. I don't know why it looks like Professor Plum's outfit in Clue. I'm just saying. It's not good. I don't like it. So if we look at this outfit, pretty, gorgeous. The hell is this? Why is she purple? Why is she purple? I mean, it's not the worst thing. I actually have seen worse in this game, which is weird, because in Love Nikki, which is a mobile game that came out back in 2016-17, loved that game. I don't know what's going on here. What is purple? Like, what the hell is that? So much, and I love purple, but this is a little much. Her dress rippled with the vastness of the celestial river. Her dance steps, tracing the endless path of stars. Now, it's tied into lore from previous Nikki games, but I didn't play the Nikki game between Love Nikki and this game. So, I don't even remember this in Love Nikki. Maybe I missed it. I can't remember. It's been too long, but what is this? And why does it need an elaborate story? See, with this outfit, this was tied to the main story. Every time you advanced the main story, you get a new piece of this outfit. I thought that was a very clever way to tie the gameplay to the story. This outfit wasn't tied to anything, which was disappointing, but at least it's pretty. What is this? What is purple? According to Homer Simpson, purple is a fruit. But what fruit? What are we doing here? Grape purple? Welch's purple? What are we doing? This is okay, I guess. I'll evolve this. And the other thing too is I'm not super crazy about the colors in this game. The color scheme is very limited. And the new gameplay mechanic that lets you dye things different colors, like all the colors that they have are like, hey, you can dye Nikki's dress a different color, and I'm like, sweet. And they're like, yeah, but no color you actually want to dye it in. So if I go over here, and I once again show you guys this. Let's go to like this. No, you know what, let's go to a top. Let's go to this top. Currently, it's this sort of periwinkle blue. Not crazy about periwinkle blue. See, I was like this like non-committal periwinkle blue. Sorry. There's a whole story behind Periwinkle Blue and I that goes back to a friend's wedding where they wanted everyone to wear periwinkle blue, and then it became a car color that was also popular. So I have thoughts about periwinkle blue, which is like this purplish blue color, right? What if I don't like this and I want to dye it a different color? As you can see, I have 2 unlocked colors here, which that's fine but bland. Fine but bland. Fine but bland. Although this greenish color doesn't really match what's on screen. I guess it's okay. But here's the thing. Would you believe me if I told you I already unlocked this color specifically? See this color here, which is a little too bright and wouldn't really work with this outfit? But I unlocked it for a Nikki hairstyle. Notice it's locked. Because for every wig, every pair of shorts, every bracelet, every sock, every top, every stocking, every shoe, I must unlock this specific color over and over and over again, along with this color, and this color, and this color, and this color. And that is why there's such a controversy. They want you to spend currency over and over. You don't unlock a color as you go along, and that is the color that you have for everything. Oh no, these greedy bastards, pardon my language, make you do this over and over again. And I have to consume a certain currency.
That's why.
Yes, so much greed. It's so disappointing. Because I'm naive, and I thought, well, you know what? I played 60 hours of this game, and I barely spent any money. They're not really greedy. Well, I guess I was wrong. All right, so let's see. So if I want to unlock this color, which I may very well have unlocked for a different outfit, for a different piece of an outfit, but I have to unlock again because Infold's apparently greeting, I have to consume these special shards that I've been collecting. And there we go. It's fine. Did I do it? Did I unlock it? I'm not even clear if I did or not. No, I don't even know if I did or not. Good, great. I didn't waste my money, I guess. But that's the thing, right? Like, this is ridiculous. And then pattern creator. Look at these pretty patterns. But again, I gotta spend money. Now see that, it's a pretty pattern, but I have to consume certain threads. And apparently, if I'm understanding this correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I actually haven't tried it out yet, I can only get this in the Sea of Stars. Why is this tied to multiplayer? It doesn't even make any sense. You didn't have to retcon the story for this. Just make it a thing in Stoneville. This is so dumb. the idea. They're on to an idea that I appreciate. I know what they're going for and I appreciate it. What I don't appreciate is that they are tying this to monetary things that don't feel intuitive or necessarily fair. You know what I mean? I want to make this a positive stream, guys, but come on. Going in a circle. Is it locked because I haven't done something else?
But that's not necessarily a bad thing.
All right, hold on. What do you want, you poop? Yes, you bastards. All right, there we go. For some reason that worked. Well, that wasn't very intuitive, was it? No, it's cute, but not intuitive, and I had to spend a bunch of currency I didn't want to. Finally, trying to get enough resonance crystals to do another pull in the hopes of completing the one miracle outfit I've been gunning for like a month. Yes. Now, I have a question for you, though, while I've got my audience's attention. I am speaking into an Elgato microphone. Do you think this is better than my past couple of streams where I was using a headset microphone? Is my Elgato freestanding microphone better quality? I'm hoping the answer is yes, but you guys tell me. Oh wait, is this already? Okay, hold on. I've been waiting for a Greek goddess, Greco-Roman goddess outfit forever. Is this
Yes,
already
you
available?
have to hold it sometimes. That seems slightly untenable. Definitely better quality on my end.
Definitely better quality. Okay. So I just need to find a stand, a nearby stand that lets me talk into my Elgato microphone. I knew it would be better quality. It would be less echoey. But I just need to find a like someone to put it. So it's hard to explain my setup right now, but to my left is a desk with my 2 monitors for my gaming PC. But to make room for my 70-inch Sony flat screen HD TV, I have to have it hooked up on a separate wall. So there's really nowhere to put my microphone unless I do a really awkward thing where I'm looking back and forth between monitors. There's got to be a better setup than this, but I don't know what it is right now. So I need to find somewhere to put my Elgato microphone on a stand so that I can talk into it, Because I really like the idea of having a better quality mic. I've listened back to my streams and I've watched them just to see, like, how is the quality? Is it engaging? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't like the way the headset microphones. So, like, I love my headset. I love my HyperCloud headset. The quality, sound quality is great, but the microphone, I don't know. Well, the good news is I got goddess shoes and a goddess necklace, but it's only a 4-star. Son of a... At any rate, I'm trying. I'll show you what I'm trying to get. Like, I really, really love Greek goddess outfits, and this is kind of what I wanted from the beginning. Like, I'm not crazy about the color, but we can now change the color if I don't like it. But I am still trying to get the last couple of pieces of this outfit. So I have 2 more to go. All I need is a dress and the hair. I've got everything else. But I really love this Greek goddess outfit, and I want to get a hold of what that is. Okay. Having said that, guys, I think this is a good place to stop, because I've been ranting 2 hours about this update, and I really, really, really do want Infinity Nikki to do well. I really, really do, you guys. This is a great, cozy stream. We can talk about this game and other games. But I gotta tell you, I'm disappointed with 1.5 update, and I really want Infold to correct this. I want them to... I don't want them to retcon the story. I want them to retcon the drama with their currency and their pity cap going up and not down. And I want them to just sort of get back on track. Because honestly, guys, I've gotten 250 hours of fantastic gameplay experience out of Infinity Nikki. I want them to succeed, don't you? And if you want me to stream any other games on YouTube, we'll still call it Infinity Friday because I love the name of that. But if you want me to stream any other games, let me know on my YouTube page at Meg Sullivan. You can go to the posts and leave comments. You can find me on Blue Sky at Meg. Hold on. See, this is what happens, right? When you try to advertise yourself, and I'm like, there's a Simpsons quote about this where, like, one of Homer's new bosses, like, doesn't know his own phone number because he doesn't call himself. But what is my Blue Sky? Oh, okay. At Celtic Queen Meg. All one word. Celtic Queen meg.bsky.social. And Celtic Queen is also my Instagram page. Celtic_Queen_Meg. And you can always email me. You just can email me. I trust you. At Meg, MEGN, Megn History at gmail.com. I love feedback. I love critiques. Just be nice. That's all I ask. And with that said, thank you so much for watching, guys. You're awesome. I appreciate your time. I am going to, by the way, if you still want to find me online, I might go see if one of the Kind of Funny guys are Twitch streaming right now. So I'm going to hop on over to that. And I will see you guys there. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you later.